Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
Well, the captain, he looks out ahead, with a hand to the wheel, ain't another lead. The boatswain roars to wake the dead. Come and get your roast, his son. Whoop, jamboree, whoop, jamboree. A pigtail sailor coming up behind. Whoop, jamboree, whoop, jamboree. Come and get your roast, me son. Now the bar ship is in sight, will soon be abreast of the old rock light, and I'll be seeing you tonight. And Jenny, keep your old pig warm. Whoop, jamboree, whoop, jamboree. A pigtail sailor coming up behind. Whoop, jamboree, whoop, jamboree. Come and get your roast, me son. And when we get to the Liverpool docks, them pretty young girls come down in flocks with short-legged drawers and a long-tailed frock. Come and get your roast, me son. Whoop, whoop, jamboree, whoop, jamboree. A pigtail sailor coming off behind. Whoop, jamboree, whoop, jamboree. Come and get your roast, me son. Now we're tied up to the pier, let's go below and get you must be here, and I'll be kissing you, my dear. Jenny, keep your old pig warm. Whoop, jamboree, whoop, jamboree. A pigtail sailor coming off behind. Whoop, jamboree, whoop, jamboree. Come and get your roast, me son. Now we're safely on the shore, but don't give a damn how the winds do roar. Take my anchor and don't sail no more. Come and get your roast, me son. Whoop, jamboree, whoop, jamboree. A pigtail sailor coming off behind. Whoop, jamboree, whoop, jamboree. Come and get your roast, me son. Thank you.
Thanks, Ralph.
Thank you, Ralph.
The show is Horses Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litlin, and our guests today, hailing from Staten Island, are Bob Conroy on the banjo and Norm Pederson on the mandola, and they both play a bunch of other instruments. So how are you doing today, folks?
Well, Ralph, how about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good.
Great to see you.
Better now that I heard your music.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Norm and I go way back to the 60s, down in Greenwich Village. Although we never met there. Probably were in some of the same watering holes, you know?
We probably walked past each other a lot of times. As a lot of people our age who hung around the village, possibly yourself, hanging around the same places and playing a lot of the same music. We met about 6 or 7 years ago, and it made it a lot easier to play stuff together because our backgrounds were quite similar. And we're going to do Tom Dooley, right?
We are. We're going to do a version that was collected. It's actually goes back to Doc Watson's family. to his great-grandmother, who apparently tended to Annie Melton, who was supposedly the culprit, the person who committed the murder. And Tom Dooley took the rap. It was a competition with Sheriff Grayson. There's a wonderfully melodic version I found in an old tape where Ralph Rinsler was interviewing Doc Watson. And this is collected only 8 miles from where the Frank Prophet version, the one we're probably more familiar with. 1866, Ballad of Tom Dooley. To the hillside, make her your wife. You took her to the hillside, there you took her life. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. You killed Laurie Foster, and now you're bound to die. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. You killed Laurie Foster, and now you're bound to die. You dug her grave 4 feet long, you dug it 3 feet deep, threw the cold clay over her, trumpet with your feet. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. You killed Laurie Foster, and now you're bound to die. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. You killed Laurie Foster, and now you're bound to die. Trouble, oh trouble, it's rolling around my breast. As long as I am living, ain't gonna let me rest. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. You killed Laurie Foster, and now you're bound to die. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. You killed Laurie Foster, and now you're bound to die. This time tomorrow, I reckon where I'll be, down in the lonesome valley, hanging from a white oak tree. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. You killed Laurie Foster, and now you're bound to die. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. You killed Laurie Foster, and now you're bound to die. Take my old fiddle and play her all you please. This time tomorrow, she'll be of no use to me. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. You killed Laurie Foster, and now you're bound to die. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. You killed Laurie Foster, and now you're bound to die. And this time tomorrow, I know that I'll be dead, and though I never harmed a hair over little Laurie's head. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. You killed Laurie Foster, and now you're bound to die. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. You killed Laurie Foster, and now you're bound to die.
Thank you.
awesome piece of music.
And a frightening story,
Yes.
or a sad story at least. This is a little bit of a sad song. It's a song about the place where we live, Staten Island. It's not sad because it's about Staten Island, but it's a part of an abandoned railroad line that runs right near my house, and the North Shore line. And like many abandoned things that are still there, you can still see it. It brings out strong feelings in the people who lived there, and it reminds them of the past, and makes them feel sometimes resentful of things that have been abandoned and left to kind of rot. So the song itself is called The North Shore Line.
This, if I recall correctly, is a Norm Pederson original.
Yeah.
That it is. He won't say that, does it?
I like this song.
Well, it used to be crowded on the 844, but hard times have come, trains don't come here anymore. The tracks are torn up and the station's torn down. I'm looking for help, but there's no one around. There's a light in the distance where the cross ties lay, but it's only a hobo on the old right-of-way. I thought for a moment, and it gave me a thrill, but the headlights are gone and the whistles are still. All is forgotten on the North Shore line, but people still live here with their dreams and fears, and the weeds grow high after all these years. All is forgotten on the North Shore line. Well, I used to sit down on the old wicker seats, take a ride to South Beach and have something to eat. The rides were still running and the water was clean. I've really been dreaming, if you know what I mean. All is forgotten on the North Shore line, but people still live here with their dreams and fears, and the weeds grow high after all these years. All is forgotten on the North Shore line. Wait, Mom. Well, I sit and I wonder at the days gone by, when the trains were still running in some distant July, and the family all crowded to the doors to get on. Now the family, the trains, and the summers are gone. All is forgotten on the North Shore line, but people still live here with their dreams and fears, and the weeds grow high after all these years. All is forgotten on the North Shore line. Thank you.
Beautiful piece of music. I'm saying to myself, where have you guys been hiding?
Well, that's Staten Island.
Hiding in Staten
Big
Island.
enough to hide us.
I have to say, it's been a meeting Norm was truly one of the most fortuitous things that ever happened to me. I mean, he's just such a wonderful multi-instrumentalist and a writer. And this is a tune that he wrote now. We've gone to England and Scotland, and I'm sure there's someone in Scotland playing this tune now saying that he or she learned it from their great-grandmother. Norm can tell you a bit about it.
Well, it's a little reproduction song, meaning people make reproduction furniture. I think you make reproduction furniture sometimes. And this is a reproduction song, meaning it's like songs of long ago, particularly in Ireland. And it's typical subject matter, not terribly important, but reminds people of things. It's the mouse in the wall. We found a mouse in our wall when we were doing renovations. It was a mouse from a long time ago, so it was a little bit like King Tut. But we thought about how at one time that the insides of the walls of that old house were his domain, and this is about the mouse in the wall. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Mouse in the wall.
The mouse in the wall.
While you're getting ready for the next tune, we should let folks know how they can get more information from you about your performing schedule and your recordings.
Well, we have you're going to give your website, I think?
I'll give my email, actually, rconroy421@aol.com. You can reach us there.
And they can also go to your website, which is...
We have a website, which is stoutmusic.org, and you'll get both what we do, and we play with a quintet known as Stout, and you'll get what the full band is doing as well. So
Great.
Those are two ways to get in touch with us.
And you may have heard in the North Shore Line song the reference to going to South Beach. It's a beach on Staten Island, and at one time it was an amusement park many, many years ago when I was a little boy. And one of the things they had there was an automaton. It was a head and shoulders of a woman dressed as a gypsy, and she would laugh. She would go ha 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 ha, ha over and over, frightening as anything to young children.
An evil Carol Chan.
Yes, that's the way to describe her. And anyway, the amusement park was owned by a family who later moved it a little away from the shore, and only closed a few years ago. And in the closing, that was kind of sad. That was what they'd done for 60-something years. And Bob saw a newspaper article about it and wrote a little song about it. It's called, the song itself is called The Laughing Lady.
References skee ball in here, and I have to say that if I was going to write the song, I had to actually go and play skee ball. And I did just before the arcade closed, and I only got 2 tickets. I didn't do very well. But they're still in my wallet. The old beachfront arcade at South Beach. Norm had gone there, and my children had gone there. Song about times past. Stars are dark and silent round this old arcade tonight. Colors have been burned off by the sun. And for the first time in a long, long while, it's a quiet summer day. And a long, long while was 1941. Goodbye to the laughing lady, so long to the wishing well. Here's to the summers and the times gone by, hammer and the bell. Here's to the children's children who rode the carousel. Here's to the summers and the times gone by that told us we should sell. It's so long to the bumper cars, farewell to Sand Lane. Pinball and a penny press can't match those high-tech games. Our lifetime's going to storage and a roller coaster's gone. And we're waiting for the auctioneer to sing us one last song. Goodbye to the laughing lady, so long to the wishing well. Here's to the summers and the times gone by, games of bagatelle. Here's to the children's children who rode the carousel. Here's to the summers and the times gone by that told us we should sell. And we worked hard for our license, and I know that it's a shame. There's time to roll one final skee-ball game. But we could not find a buyer who would do what we have done. And we can't risk running down the family name. Goodbye to the laughing lady, so long to the wishing well. Here's to the summers and the times gone by, hammer and the bell. Here's to the children's children who rode the carousel. Here's to the summers and the times gone by that told us we should sell. July the 4th has come and gone, and I wondered what we'd do. For 65 long years had passed since we had a barbecue. So I walked out onto South Beach as the tide was running low. Thought of the summers and the times gone by that told us we should go. Goodbye to the laughing lady, so long to the wishing well. Here's to the summers and the times gone by, games of bagatelle. Here's to the children's children who rode the carousel. Here's to the summers and the times gone by that told us we should sell. Here's to the summers and the times gone past that told us we should sell. Thank you.
Beautifully done. Beautiful.
I'll take that.
Now, what is a game of bagatelle?
Bagatelle is an English game, actually. Skee-ball, I can best, skee-ball is to bowling what bagatelle is to billiards, if that makes any sense. It's a game played in the English arcades. In fact, an Englishman who asked me to change the words, Huey Jones, said, why don't you change it to the hammer and the bell as, you know, hitting the hammer.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of alternate those in the choruses. But yeah, bagatelle is like a little game of pool they play in the English arcades.
Cool.
How about Staten Island Hornpipe?
We up for the hornpipe? How are we
Staten Island
doing?
Hornpipe.
Sure, we've got about 3 minutes left.
Okay, let's do a nice
3
version.
minutes left.
The
We'll get
only
Ralph,
song that we
Ralph,
know,
you join us on the harmonica?
the only song we know that's actually named after Staten Island, and it's a song published in 1782 in England, probably from the sailors or soldiers who were stationed at Staten Island during the Revolution. It was the staging area for the British Army, and it's a Actually, it's a nice song, too. It's kind of nice to have a song of your hometown that, you know, is a good song. Could have been a lousy one. And we're not gonna dance it, but we're gonna play it. You
Okay, let's
play along with
plug
us.
your website one more time so people can find out
It's,
information.
again, my emails are conroy421@aol.com, and if you want to learn all about our group, our Quintet Stout, that's stoutmusic.org, and our gigs are also on there, meaning Norm and mine.
Thanks very much for
Thank you, Ralph.
joining
Well,
us.
pleasure
You'll
having
give
us
us
here.
some little help on
Sure.
the French harp here.
Staten Island Hornpipe.